Welcome to the first award showcase of the 33rd Annual Great Minds in STEM Conference. My name is Geoff Rivas, and I'm delighted to be back this year for the second virtual conference for GMIS. I'm also honored to co-host once again alongside the talented Miss Elia Saldana.
It's an honor to be back with you too, Geoff, and I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate another class of world-class engineers, scientists, and STEM professionals advancing frontiers in every conceivable technical field.
The level of talent on display last year was so impressive to me. From Scientist of the Year, Dr. Alfonso Davila of NASA, designing and building the experiments that will help definitively determine if there's life on Mars, to Engineer of the Year, Jesse Ortega of General Motors, an immigrant from Mexico who's now leading the automotive industry into its electrical future.
Well, get ready to have your mind blown again this year as we celebrate pioneers in chemistry, biology, nuclear fusion, aerospace engineering, and the pharmaceutical industry, to name just a few of the fields our honorees have impacted. They are the living proof of this year's conference theme: first-class diversity, world-class STEM.
When Ray and Carmela Mellado founded Great Minds in STEM and established the HENAAC Awards in 1989, they were guided by two principles. First, they insisted the awards be peer-reviewed by an independent selection committee to ensure transparency and credibility.
And second, they believed the award winners should be world-class engineers, scientists, and technology professionals who just happen to be Hispanic, and their work should demonstrate excellence of the highest standards in their chosen fields of endeavor. Over the years, more and more non-Hispanics have been honored as well, especially when their work in the community, in education, or in senior leadership positions has had a profound impact on Hispanics, both here in the U.S. and across Latin America.
This year's HENAAC Award winners have been grouped into 4 award showcases. We begin today with a celebration of the spirit of innovation, something we've all come to appreciate over the last 18 months as the world has been forced to innovate in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Last year's first ever virtual conference was Innovation in Action for the GMIS team. But innovation is the backbone of the STEM fields, and it's something our honorees are out there doing every day. Today, we're going to meet the first 7 HENAAC Award winners who are among the leading innovators in their field, including our 2021 Scientist of the Year, Dr. Daniela Brunner, whose research has brought the pharmaceutical industry to the brink of a revolution in the treatment of serious mental disorders like schizophrenia and bipolar disease.
At tomorrow's showcase, we'll highlight 6 more award winners at the Pursuit of Excellence. And then on Wednesday, we'll pay tribute to the Commitment to Country as we salute STEM professionals in the uniformed services.
On Thursday, we'll take a break from professional award winners and turn our attention to our college students at the annual Student Leadership Awards. And then on Friday, we'll be back to wrap it all up with the Power of Leadership, where we'll honor the final 7 HENAAC Award winners, including Engineer of the Year, Dr. Marla Perez Davis, Director of NASA Glenn Research Center.
Innovation, leadership, commitment to country, and excellence. These themes were chosen because they are the values that the Hispanic community in the United States has embraced as we weave our own unique patterns into the American tapestry.
They're also the values that our honorees have embraced on their own personal quest to achieve world-class excellence in STEM. So, let's kick things off, shall we? To get things rolling, let's welcome Dr. Juan Rivera, CEO and Chairman of the Board of Great Minds in STEM. He is a past HENAAC Award winner himself and was a longtime executive at Northrop Grumman. He joined the GMIS Board of Directors in 2009 and succeeded Ray Mellado as chair in 2019. Dr. Rivera, take it away.
Thank you, Elia, and we're delighted to have you and Geoff back hosting for us. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to welcome everybody to the 33rd Annual GMIS Conference and the first awards showcase for 2021. A special greeting to our student and professional attendees from across the country, many of whom are entering their second week of competitions, networking, and professional development at this virtual conference. This event has grown and evolved over its 3 decades plus history, not only in size, but in scope. The range of programming that takes place at the conference in 2021 boggles the mind, and the virtual environment that our team has created to adapt to travel and convening restrictions brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic has only made that vast scope even more apparent. But the HENAAC Awards show takes us back to our roots as the first national platform for recognizing excellence in the Hispanic technical community. They were created with 2 goals in mind: to show America that Hispanics were out there making world-class contributions in STEM, and perhaps more importantly, to prove to ourselves and to our children that careers in STEM were not only a possibility for Hispanics and people of color, but a reality. While we've come a long way as a community and as a nation since 1989, those messages need to be reinforced and reiterated. And our outstanding 2021 award winners send those messages more loudly and clearly than ever. I want to express my thanks and appreciation to the many sponsors and partner organizations who have helped us pursue this mission for 33 years, especially to our 2021 host sponsors, the Lockheed Martin Corporation and Shell Oil Company. I also want to acknowledge our academic hosts, the University of Southern California and the California State University System. The last 2 years have been especially challenging, and your support through these unprecedented times shows not only your commitment to GMIS, but to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and to the Hispanic community writ large. We cannot do what we do without your generous, steadfast support, and our team strives every day to meet and exceed your expectations and your vision of change in our country. So, on behalf of the entire GMIS family, I wish you all a great conference, and we hope that you enjoy today's celebration of the spirit of innovation. We look forward to seeing all of you next year, live and in person, as we reconvene in Pasadena. Until then, we send virtual abrazos to all of our sponsors, partners, and student and professional attendees. Thank you.
One of the great traditions of the Great Minds in STEM Conference that Dr. Rivera just alluded to is the partnership with the academic hosts. Beginning with Rice University in Houston back in 1989, every GMIS conference has had 1 or more academic hosts. Let's meet the first of our academic hosts for 2021.
Who is the engineer of tomorrow? In a world where change is exponential, where change is the only constant, we must also change the conversation about engineering, about who we are, what we do, and what we look like. Our engineers must embody agility and resilience, competence and character, the qualities that create trust. As USC Engineering entered its 115th year, the last 16 under the Viterbi name, the school was moving with confident strides to help engineer a better world for all humanity. And then, humanity was confronted with an unthinkable crisis.
Breaking news tonight, the coronavirus forcing millions more Americans into virtual lockdown. Over 75 million people in New York.
The character of our engineers was tested in 2020, not only by the pandemic, but by a reckoning with some of the darkest chapters of our history. Once again, Viterbi stepped up to lead by pursuing a historic series of initiatives focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity drives innovation, and Viterbi is proud to help lead the engineering community into a bigger, bolder, and more inclusive future. When we look back on 2020, we will remember a year of great challenges, but in the post-COVID era, a new generation of engineers will lead us forward. The engineer of tomorrow is the Viterbi engineer, an engineer who builds trust through agility, resilience, competence, and character, who uses technology to eliminate distances in space and time, but most importantly, in hearts and minds. There will always be problems, but all problems are solvable if we work together to engineer a better world for all humanity.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carol Folt, president of USC. I hope you're having a terrific conference, reconnecting with friends and colleagues and making new connections. USC is so pleased to be your academic host. Great minds in STEM and USC have partnered over the years, and I am delighted to join you for this year's GMiS Awards show and to celebrate the GMiS Class of 2021 honorees. I'd like to start with a big shout out to all the students who are here. You are curious and creative, passionate about bringing positive change to the world. And just remember, we are counting on you for the future. Your talent and your training is going to light the way, and we need your bold and your outside-the-box ideas. So many solutions to our world's biggest challenges will come from STEM disciplines, and we'll be looking to you to bridge that innovation and expertise with the humanity of the real world and with real-world problems. So keep going. I also want to give my gratitude to the STEM professionals joining us. You're already doing the work that the world needs. You're providing new career opportunities for our students, and you're on the front lines of reinventing the future. Also, you're the mentors and role models the world needs. Simply by doing what you do and doing it with character, integrity, and a spirit of inclusion, you are modeling a new way to work and a new way to lead. Thank you for that. And now, some words of advice. I recently shared this with USC students, and I want to share it with you as well. It's the concept of the beginner's mind, a Zen Buddhist term that is the title of the recently released audiobook by world-renowned artist Yo-Yo Ma. A beginner's mind is fully open to new questions, to fresh connections, and to unexpected answers. A beginner's mind allows us to approach problems, or really any situation, with wonder and excitement. And it allows us to take on challenges without bias or preconception, allowing us to start fresh each time and to find a spark of discovery within ourselves. For anyone doing STEM work, how perfect is that? Yo-Yo Ma talks about arriving at every concert in which he performs with a beginner's mind, even though he's played the piece for decades, practiced every note for hours, and knows each chord by heart. When he takes his seat center stage and the audience quiets, he still picks up his bow with a sense of discovery. We all can do that, whether you're a student solving problem sets or a researcher looking to pioneer new medicines or new technologies, whether you're tackling the toughest challenges surrounding climate change or mentoring next generation of scholars and finding new ways to keep inclusion and equity at the fore of our conversations. Keep a beginner's mind. Keep your curiosity sharp and keep your biases at bay. I love this mindset, and I hope you'll find it insightful for your own work and for your own lives. So thank you so much for joining us for the Great Minds in STEM's Award Showcase. Just by showing up, you are making learning, community, and inclusion your top priority. My congratulations to all the award recipients. At USC, we are so pleased to partner with the Great Minds in STEM, to work together to advance STEM education and to connect STEM's magic with today's challenges. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Dr. Folt, and thank you again to USC. We'll meet the second academic host, the California State University System, at tomorrow's awards showcase.
Okay, let's get the show on the road and meet our first group of honorees, shall we? The first HENAAC Award winner is one of two chosen by the Selection Committee for Excellence in Education. Here to introduce this outstanding educator is Dr. William Serrata and Dr. Steve Smith, the President and Vice President, respectively, of El Paso Community College.
It is our honor to recognize Dr. Christian Servin for his incredible work and service.
As an associate professor of computer science, Dr. Servin has been laser focused on one overarching goal, helping his El Paso Community College students graduate and transfer to four-year institutions. He has demonstrated a profound commitment to students, which shows in his results. He has increased the number of students enrolling in and completing the computer science program from 3 per semester in 2008 to an average of 47 per semester as of last fall. Many end up at regional universities like his alma mater, the University of Texas at El Paso, where he earned all 4 of his degrees, including his PhD.
Dr. Servin is an incredible mentor and role model for our students. He has been particularly successful at student retention. He inspires students to stay in class, focus on their goals, and continue on their educational pathway. Dr. Servin has improved the computer science degree program at EPCC by designing, implementing, and aligning the curriculum with nationally recognized standards and guidelines. He's also influenced community college computer science and cybersecurity curricula across the country through his memberships in the Association of Computing Machinery.
Dr. Servin's extensive resume is brimming with publication credits, academic committee and professional society memberships, and several honors and fellowships, including the prestigious Inspire CSAI Fellowship from MIT and Carnegie Mellon. But the true measure of the success of this first-generation Mexican-American computer science professor is the more than 600 students that he has directly helped earn an Associate of Science degree, and the hundreds more who have successfully transferred to four-year universities. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to present Dr. Christian Servin, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Education. Congratulations.
Humanity is witnessing a transitional era where humankind is coexistence with non-human entities. We live moments where we define the frontiers between challenges and opportunities, defining new normals and their new moral standards dictated by ubiquitous digital culture. These transition times require our attention and our ethical responsibilities. I teach computer science at El Paso Community College, located at the frontier between Ciudad Juárez, Mexico, and El Paso, Texas, United States. I live and teach at the borderline that I'm not only lucky enough to witness two nationalities sharing a territory, but fortunately to serve the community with a large diversity in culture, language, and educational context and interest. Community colleges are the intersection of many educational aspects that interest nowadays. These institutions were initially designated to provide continuing education to serve their regional workforce and local industry needs. Currently, community colleges assist many initiatives, including four-year transfer students to complete their 2+2 programs in K-12 capacities that support early college high schools and dual credit programs. Community colleges are the frontiers that interconnect initiatives from different backgrounds with only one main objective: to assemble education. Yes, I train the new generation of hackers to reconcile the definition of hacking by educating their minds and their skills. Computing emerging areas such as AI, machine learning, quantum computing require our attention and ethical responsibility as educators and computer users. As educators, we define the frontier of ethical correctness and reliable computing by contextualizing social justice into software engineering and develop activists in the classroom that represent society, the community, and humanity for the social good.
To present the award for community service, please welcome Dean Ebert, Vice President, Engineering and Sciences, Northrop Grumman Mission Systems.
While Alexander Szeto devotes his working hours to his duties as a senior systems engineering manager at Northrop Grumman, he, like many superheroes, leads a double life in his free time. By day, Mr. Szeto leads a team overseeing the full engineering lifecycle of special test equipment for the F-35 Communication, Navigation, and Identification Program, a team that includes senior engineers and technical fellows. Despite these and other high-profile responsibilities at Northrop Grumman, he still makes time to volunteer thousands of hours to coach, mentor, and fundraise for STEM and education-related initiatives in and around his home in San Diego. As the head coach of Team Inspiration, a robotics team of 15 students, Mr. Szeto led his squad to the first Robotics World Championship in Houston 3 different years. In 2020, he helped Team Inspiration become the first team composed of middle and high schoolers to win the world title in the RoboSub competition. As director of the San Diego Mesa College Foundation Board, Mr. Szeto has donated and fundraised over $100,000 in the last several years to support scholarships, social justice initiatives, innovation grants, and food support for students and families in need. His commitment to community service is his small way of paying back a nation that took him in as an 18-year-old refugee from Vietnam with just a 9th grade education and limited English capability. After earning an associate's degree in math, he soon completed his BS and MS degrees in aerospace engineering, propelling him into a remarkable career that's given him the means and the focus to better the community around him. Friends and colleagues, it is absolutely my honor to introduce Alexandra Szeto, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Community Service.
Thank you for the introduction. It's my honor to receive the Community Service Award from the GMiS in STEM. This award is truly special, since it recognizes the community service in STEM education. I become who I am because many have reached out to help a refugee. They encouraged me to pursue higher education. Community colleges like San Diego Mesa College provide an affordable option for students to study a new skill set. Many caring teachers and mentors helped me to study. They was there to listen when I faced challenge and provide emotional support. I learned the value of caring and mentoring from them. I now mentor others. My own students have taught thousands of students in local and global community. For the youth, I encourage you to study, to learn, and to explore the unknown. STEM education is fun and exciting as demonstrated by my students in the robotic team Inspiration, which for the start, anything is possible. For everyone, reach out to help someone. Small acts of kindness go a long way. You will make life-changing impact that many did for me. With that, I would like to thank my family, my mentor, and the many teachers. This award is for you.
Congratulations, Mr. Szeto. Organizations don't accumulate 33 years of impact without close partnerships with key organizations. For the last several years, GMiS has counted its partnership with CASI, the Computing Alliance of Hispanic Serving Institutions, as among its most significant. CASI is a National Science Foundation Includes Alliance, and they're once again holding their annual summit and hackathon at the GMiS Conference.
Dr. Ann Q. Gates is the chair of CASI. She's a distinguished professor and chair of the Computer Science Department, as well as the Senior Vice Provost of Faculty Affairs at the University of Texas at El Paso.
The Computing Alliance of Hispanic Serving Institutions, or CASI, is proud to partner with great minds in STEM. Our relationship continues to be strengthened because of our shared vision. Above all else, we recognize that talent resides in all communities and all institutions and organizations, and at every level. Highlighting this talent, empowering our students, and opening opportunities to students are our unifying values. CASI is in a select group of national alliances funded by the NSF Includes program that promotes the importance of inclusion and equity and advancing innovation and discovery. CASI believes that achieving equity requires strong leadership. We focus on building inclusive learning and work environments, harnessing Hispanic experiences and perspectives to drive success for students, institutions, and employers, and increasing access to opportunity for Hispanics. CASI supports programs that encourage student and institutional engagement with industry to strengthen teamwork and problem-solving skills, and to transform students from learners to innovators. Through its many programs, CASI is developing the next generation leaders who continue to strive to develop professionally and who are committed to social impact efforts. CASI would not be successful without the support of GMiS and our industry partners. We thank each of you for working with us to make a difference.
The Computing Alliance of Hispanic Serving Institutions is a national organization established in 2006 to address the low representation of Hispanics and women in the computing workforce. CASI activities involve community building, intergenerational mentoring, and assets-based approaches toward computing education that affirm the humanity, participation, and cultural strengths of students. These approaches cultivate the sense of belonging in computing and STEM fields that have been found to be critical for students of color. CASI's efforts on capacity building are focused on improving departmental climate, developing leadership and problem-solving skills, enhancing students' knowledge, skills, and abilities in computing, and promoting undergraduate research experiences. The COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the traditional residential REU experiences at universities and colleges, halting many plans for summer undergraduate research. Students lost jobs and internship opportunities. CASI conducted a survey in 2020. We highlight a couple of results. The survey revealed that 52% of our students were highly impacted by mental health issues, with women more significantly impacted than men. The pandemic had a financial impact, with 62% of students worrying about money and 32% having trouble paying bills. With a whole generation of students and faculty at risk, CASI researchers realized that the Affinity Research Group model could be migrated to the virtual environment, providing 21 faculty mentors and 51 students with research experiences and opportunities that would otherwise be lost. The goal of the virtual REU experience using the ARG model was faculty development for outstanding research and mentoring, in addition to the identification, research skills development, and summer funding of undergraduate researchers. The program developed a sense of belonging among the students and created an environment in which all contributions are valued. Students developed a research plan and documented their reflections. The result was a supportive environment for research skills development. An outcome included broadening the community of students and faculty engaged in research. Let's hear from students.
That conference was my first exposure doing any kind of scientific presentation with a poster board, and I thought it was just such an enriching experience. I learned so much, and it's one of the things that definitely propelled me to want to pursue a Master's of Science degree that would be research-based.
Hi, my name is Petra Bazan, and over the summer I participated in the CASI VREU program. I learned lots of different strategies to conducting research and working with many people around the world. The best part of working with CASI is their dedication to women in computing.
The evaluation results of the program showed that 81% of the students feel more prepared for advanced study, 90% feel they have more knowledge of career and education choices, and 87% feel more prepared for a career in computing. As a faculty member stated, ARC is a powerful model that goes beyond the research toward generating a community of students and faculty who share values and interests.
Please welcome back Dr. Ann Q. Gates.
The path taken by Dr. Patricia Ordóñez Franco from the Department of Computer Science at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras, was not an easy one. Initially discouraged from pursuing computer science, Dr. Ordóñez switched majors at Johns Hopkins University and graduated with an ethnic studies degree. After teaching high school for a few years, she took a position at a software company where her passion for computing was reignited. She went back to school and earned both her master's and doctoral degrees in computer science from the University of Maryland, Baltimore, often taking classes at night. Since taking a tenure-track position at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras, Dr. Ordóñez has worked to ensure that no one with a passion for a STEM field is discouraged from pursuing it. She's also committed to increasing the number of women and minorities in STEM PhD programs, using her personal experiences as motivation. Dr. Ordóñez is a founding member of Hispanics in Computing, an online community for faculty and students in computer science and related fields, and she has been a major force behind numerous initiatives to expand exposure to computer science among high schoolers across Puerto Rico. She also works tirelessly to bring new opportunities that benefit all students at the university through various programs. A passionate and committed mentor, Dr. Ordóñez counts among her greatest achievements as an educator the growing number of her students and mentees who have gone on to work at companies such as NASA, IBM, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present Dr. Patricia Ordóñez Franco.
I'm very humbled to be one of the recipients of this year's HENAAC Awards in Education, and I'm humbled to be in the company of my fellow awardees. And I congratulate each one of you. Every challenge that I've faced has led me to new frontiers. Just like being a computer science professor. I never dreamed of being a computer science professor until I entered graduate school and started working in Promise. So I want to give you guys some advice, the students, my students who, especially in the last 5 years, have had to face natural disasters, man-made disasters, and the pandemics. This 5 pieces of advice got me very far. So first, make sure that you get involved in professional and personal development. That's what Promise did for me. That made me be able to see that I could be a professor. It opened my eyes to possibilities. And do it in liberal arts, do it in many different things, because you will never know. All that will shape your future. Second, don't let others define you. You have to define yourself. Because in the end, you are the one who deals with those consequences of those decisions. And that goes from your personal life to who you collaborate, to what you do, to the roles that you take. Define yourself. 3, be kind to others and be kind to yourself. Surround yourself with people who are kind to you. And surround yourself also with people who believe in you. Be grateful for having them and let them know it. And finally, never believe a prediction unless it empowers you. That's a quote from Sean Stevenson. If you haven't heard of him, look him up. He's very inspiring. And so thank you once again for this award.
To present the award for Outstanding Technical Achievement, National Laboratories, please welcome GMiS board member and past HENAAC Award winner, Mr. Alex Lopez.
Dr. Diego del-Castillo-Negrete is one of the leading scientists working to perfect controlled nuclear fusion for commercial energy production, a long-sought goal in the quest to find a clean replacement source for polluting fossil fuels. In his work as a distinguished R&D staff scientist at Oak Ridge National Laboratory's Plasma Theory and Modeling Group, he conducts research to predict the dynamics of magnetically confined fusion plasmas using state-of-the-art physics models, applied mathematical methods, and computational algorithms. Dr. del-Castillo-Negrete's research has resulted in the publication of over 100 papers, 3 book chapters, and over 3,900 citations. His impressive list of associations include prestigious visiting scholar and scientific seminar invitations from institutions around the world. A Mexico City native, Dr. del-Castillo-Negrete began his education with a BS degree from Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México before pursuing his PhD at the University of Texas, Austin. Keenly aware of the value of mentors, he continues to this day to advise graduate students from Mexico and Brazil, and he even makes time to tutor recent immigrants for their GED exams. Although he chose UT Austin initially to pursue theoretical physics, he soon changed his mind and opted to study plasma physics instead, a choice that launched what has been a remarkable career. In 2000, he joined the Fusion Energy Division at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, where he spent the last 21 years advancing the science of fusion reactors. It is no exaggeration to say that the future of energy depends on his success. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present Dr. Diego del-Castillo-Negrete, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Outstanding Technical Achievement in National Laboratory.
Life as an immigrant is full of rewards. but it is challenging. Fortunately, science has always welcomed diversity because diversity drives innovation. To the eyes of scientific research, we are all equal. There are no nationalities, no races, no gender differences, no political views. Science shows how we can all contribute towards a universal goal that goes beyond those aspects that artificially seem to separate us. I always recall with pride and admiration the stories my mother told me about her own immigration struggles. In the 1930s, she and her family fled Spain during the Spanish Civil War, escaping fascism. Although their experiences were certainly quite different to mine, the example of my mother's resilience, hard work, open mind, and optimism while starting a new life in a new country has always inspired me. She taught me to embrace with open arms the new country and to always be there to help others in their quest of a brighter future in a different country. This is our duty, especially when it comes to help young Hispanic scientists. After leaving Mexico, I went to the University of Texas and then to the University of California and Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. Living in the South, I experienced the uniqueness of the Mexican-American culture that blends in a complex tapestry Mexican and American traditions. We must thank society for the support to science and be ambassadors of the key role that scientific thinking plays in eradicating diseases and controlling global warming. Today, the elusive goal of controlled nuclear fusion for commercial production of carbon-free energy feels closer than ever. I am grateful for the opportunity to contribute to this fascinating problem at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory and thankful to GMiS for recognizing my work in this area.
Congratulations, Dr. del-Castillo-Negrete. These award winners are incredibly impressive once again, Elia. Nuclear fusion? Are you kidding me?
And they just keep coming, Geoff. Listen to the title of our next presenter. He's a fellow at the College of Fellows for the American Institute of Medical and Biological Engineering, a senior member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and a professor of biomedical engineering, biokinesiology, and physical therapy at USC's Viterbi School of Engineering. He was also the recipient of this same award in 2013.
To present the 2021 HENAAC Award for Outstanding Technical Achievement in Academia, please welcome Dr. Francisco Valero Cuevas.
Dr. Cristina L. Zavaleta is a rising star at the University of Southern California's Viterbi School of Engineering, who has already made significant technical contributions to her field of biomedical engineering. Described as a force of nature, Dr. Zavaleta's achievements have opened up new and exciting areas of research in optical imaging, including the utilization of an entirely new class of nanoparticle-based contrast agents. She has developed new imaging techniques like multiphoton luminescence as well, and she already has 8 patents granted or pending to her name. Dr. Zavaleta's work has had an immediate impact in the fight against cancer. Her research has demonstrated how those nanoparticles can specifically target various cancer biomarkers, and once targeted, they can generate a signal that her imaging instrumentation can detect. This is a critical technology to increase the ability of clinicians to track tumor size and location over time and identify tumor boundaries during surgery. These novel molecular imaging strategies have shown much greater sensitivity and specificity than current techniques. This has also inspired new ways of detecting and fighting cancer at its earliest stages, and it has the potential to save innumerable lives. Growing up in an isolated border town in Texas's Rio Grande Valley, Dr. Zavaleta fell in love with science after winning an 8th grade regional science fair. She originally planned to follow in her father's footsteps as a medical doctor before deciding to pursue her PhD in radiological sciences. Dr. Zavaleta is also actively involved in student outreach and has a passion for engaging and recruiting underserved students within her lab. She currently has 2 doctoral students, 4 undergraduate students, and 3 high school students of Hispanic heritage under her mentorship. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. Cristina L. Zavaleta to the 2021 HENAAC Award for Outstanding Technical Achievement in Academia. My very best congratulations, Dr. Zavaleta. We are very proud to have you as a fellow Trojan. Congratulations.
I wanted to share a little bit of my origin story with you so that students could see at least one example of how a professor came to be. Growing up in a small border town community in Texas, it was difficult to find opportunities in STEM, particularly back in the day. I had never met a scientist before and certainly never knew what a PhD was. The science bug bit me back in junior high when our class was required to participate in a science fair. I had so much fun discovering the scientific method, setting up experiments with my mom on our kitchen table, making sure all my controls were in place, and analyzing the data. I remember the most fun was preparing my data to be presented, not in the digital format that we're used to today, but on an actual trifold poster board. I suppose all my hard work paid off because I won first place in my category, and then went on to the regional science fair. I managed to win first place at the regionals too, and the whole experience really gave me a lot more confidence to pursue a path in the sciences. But I never imagined that it would lead me to where I am now. It's funny looking back how such a small thing like winning a local science fair could inspire one to go after something that seems so unattainable. I eventually had an opportunity to leave Texas and head to California to study with the world's leading expert in molecular imaging at Stanford University. Although I was super excited to be at one of the world's most elite schools, I was also feeling quite intimidated. Self-doubt started to creep in. How did I get here? Am I smart enough? Will I be able to keep up? What if I fail? But instead of succumbing to all these thoughts, I ended up using them to help motivate me to rise to the occasion. Some say that the smartest people surround themselves with even smarter people to gain perspective and make you think about something in a new and unexpected way. I soon learned that simply coming from a different place and upbringing gave me that opportunity to share my unique perspective as well. And that's what I think makes diversity so important, being able to gain that unique perspective from all kinds of different people. Thanks again so much for the opportunity to share my story, and thanks to the Great Minds in STEM Awards Committee for selecting me to receive the Outstanding Technical Achievement Award in Academia. Thank you and take care.
To present the award for Lifetime Achievement in Academia, please welcome past HENAAC Award winner Dr. Dan Arvizu, Chancellor of the New Mexico State University.
Dr. Rolando A. Flores Galarza is a pioneer in the agricultural and environmental sciences. His impressive body of work has helped leverage advances in those fields to impact social mobility and economic development in rural communities and across the Western Hemisphere. In his current role, Dr. Flores is focused on demonstrating how technologies like big data, artificial intelligence, and green energy can improve everything from water usage efficiency to soil health and carbon management. Born and raised in Costa Rica, young Rolando joined his country's National Production Bureau after earning his mechanical engineering degree in 1974. Tasked with overseeing food processing investment projects, Dr. Flores implemented a series of technical innovations that sparked an economic revolution in Costa Rica, a revolution that continues to reverberate. Today, the country exports nearly 80 agricultural products, up from the mere 4 or 5 it exported when he first joined the Bureau. In the 80s, Dr. Flores brought his talents to the United States, earning a master's degree from Iowa State University and a PhD from Kansas State University. After several prolific years as a U.S. Department of Agriculture researcher and later as an educator and administrator at the University of Nebraska, he landed with us at New Mexico State University. He's skillfully led our College of Agriculture, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences since 2016. Far from an ivory tower technocrat, Dr. Flores connects directly with the people in rural communities who benefit most from his research. He engages regularly with farmers and ranchers from rural communities and Native American lands across New Mexico, as well as the Mexican states of Chihuahua and Sonora, to help improve their food production and, in the process, their livelihoods. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present Dr. Rolando Flores Galarza, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Lifetime Achievement.
It is truly an honor to receive this recognition of lifetime achievement from such an important and inspiring organization. Throughout my career, I have striven to teach, conduct research, and outreach in science, engineering, and technology to improve communities as well as the agriculture industry. I have also worked hard to provide both undergraduate and graduate students, particularly those from underserved communities, with opportunities in STEM areas of study. Being from Costa Rica and specializing in international trade has given me a global perspective and has positively informed my approach as the Dean of the New Mexico State University College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences. I see the vision and missions of the great minds in STEM as similar to that of New Mexico State University. The vision of the great minds in STEM is be a national leader in keeping America technologically strong by promoting science, technology, engineering, and math careers, especially in underserved communities. NMSU is a land grant and as a Hispanic serving institution is well positioned to encourage Hispanic students as well as students from other underserved groups such as Native American students and women to pursue careers in STEM. I am proud of the global perspective I have been able to bring to the table throughout my career. I have strongly encouraged opportunities for students to also gain a global perspective through opportunities for collaborative research and student exchange programs in Latin America and the Caribbean, Japan, India, and China. The current challenges we are living in demand that we are razor-focused on the application of the newest technologies to our specific fields. Thus, it is crucial that we apply artificial intelligence in agriculture while developing the digitalization of agriculture in the food chain. Once again, I thank the Great Minds in STEM organization for this lifetime achievement recognition. It is truly an honor.
Congratulations, Dr. Flores and Dr. Zavaleta. These two honorees are a reminder of the talent in academia and of the groundbreaking scientific advances taking place at universities across the country.
Well, we've reached the final honoree for this showcase, Elia, and we're finishing with one of this year's top 2 awards, the Scientist of the Year.
To introduce the Scientist of the Year, let's toss it to Dr. Emer Leahy, President and CEO of PsychoGenics.
1 in 5 adults in the US will experience mental illness, which costs trillions per year in lost productivity. There's an urgent need for better and safer treatments to address these severely disabling conditions. However, the drug discovery process has failed to deliver improved treatments for decades. In the case of schizophrenia, there have been no new treatment approaches in more than 60 years, until now. Thanks to Dr. Daniela Brunner's creativity and disruptive thinking, there's hope on the horizon for the 1% of the population with schizophrenia and the many more with depression, anxiety, and other disabling mental illnesses. Born in Argentina, Dr. Brunner earned her bachelor's and master's degrees at the University of Buenos Aires. She then moved to England to pursue her PhD in experimental psychology at King's College, Cambridge, before a prestigious postdoctoral position at Columbia University brought her to the United States. Since joining PsychoGenics during its startup phase over 20 years ago, Dr. Brunner has been a pioneer in the field of preclinical artificial intelligence-driven drug discovery. It was Dr. Brunner who conceived and built SmartCube, PsychoGenics' revolutionary platform that unleashes the power of machine learning on the daunting task of identifying drug compounds with high therapeutic potential. SmartCube accomplishes this by combing through massive amounts of video and other data to pinpoint particular responses in the central nervous system. Dr. Brunner's vision for SmartCube wasn't merely a theoretical one. Her stroke of genius was to rethink our approach to drug discovery and then merge the software, the hardware, and the analytical techniques of SmartCube. She assembled a team of robotics engineers to bring her concept of mounting cameras, sensors, computer-controlled stimuli, and computer vision for video analysis into one self-contained box or cube to life. SmartCube has transformed psychiatric drug discovery for PsychoGenics and its partners. SmartCube-driven initiatives have already resulted in one drug known as Ulaterant, partnered with Synovion Pharmaceuticals, that is now in phase 3 clinical trials for treating schizophrenia. Ulaterant has been shown to have fewer side effects and address symptoms of schizophrenia not currently addressed. 4 more drugs are expected to reach late clinical trials in the next few years, potentially benefiting millions of people suffering from a variety of severely disabling neuropsychiatric disorders, such as depression and bipolar disorder, to name just a few. In addition to her work with PsychoGenics, Dr. Brunner founded Early Signal and Science Forward, organizations focused on AI with other technologies to improve human health, such as clinical platforms for big data analytics using wearables and home sensor devices. She's also authored to more than 70 publications, including several book chapters, and holds more than 10 patents and patent applications. In receiving this award, Daniela follows in the footsteps of her husband, Dr. Gustavo Stolovitsky, an IBM Fellow and winner of the HENAAC Pioneer Award in 2013 for his own groundbreaking work in nanobiotechnology. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be able to present the 2021 Scientist of the Year Award to my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Daniela Brunner.
Hi. I am honored to be named as Space Scientist of the Year by HENAAC, Great Minds in STEM, and I congratulate all the other honorees of this award competition. Receiving this award is a culmination of many years of hard and inspired work, but also the beginning of a new journey, hoping to inspire creativity and critical thinking in the students of our community. I was raised in Argentina in a household with very strong ethical and professional values. My mother, a mathematician, gave me a preference for a formal and rational approach to life. My father was a tireless inventor who taught me how to cut metal, how to mold plastic, solder circuits, and how to cut wood. Nobody told me that these were not appropriate activities for a young woman in the 60s and 70s. So it was therefore inevitable that I ended up creating platforms for scientific discovery, including new hardware and software for data collection, engineering, and analysis. Growing up as a scientist in Latin America taught me to be creative and self-reliant, as our budgets were really tiny, minimal. In those times, we invented ways to reuse so-called discardable items. Nothing was ever discarded. Everything was recycled, transformed, or built from scratch. So those as an undergraduate and as a graduate student, I got to build my own hardware and to write my own software to run the experiments and to do the analysis. I realized shortly after arriving in the United States that I wanted my work to have to be a contribution to humanity in a strong manner. So I joined the company PsychoGenics 21 years ago, and I switched from basic research to applied research in drug discovery, using my inventive drive to create an artificial intelligence platform to fast forward the discovery of novel therapeutics in psychiatry, neurodegenerative disorders, and developmental disorders. I also worked for many years in digital health with a special focus on rare diseases and the underserved populations. I am very lucky to have a very talented husband, daughter, and son who are very patient too and supported my work, my love for photography, and who also share my love for martial arts. Knowing, at least hoping, that my work will have a direct impact on disease burden has been a crucial drive, central drive in my career. And I am delighted that the platform I created, the SmartCube platform, has yielded several drugs being tested right now in the clinic to help those suffering of mental disorders. Those therapies can very well result in millions of patients receiving life-saving treatments. I am honored to receive and accept the Scientist of the Year award. The work HENAAC does to support minorities in STEM is extremely important, and I am very happy to be part of this community. Thank you.
What an impressive first group of honorees to kick off the 2021 awards. Congratulations to Dr. Brunner and all of tonight's recipients. I can't wait to see what's in store the next 4 days.
Don't forget, you'll be able to find this showcase at the GMIS YouTube channel, which can be found at youtube.com/GMISTEM.
We also encourage everyone to visit gmisconference.org to view the personal thank you videos our 2021 honorees have sent in. You can also find the stories of this year's GMIS luminaries who were featured on Great Minds in STEM's social media throughout week 1 of the conference.
Thank you all for tuning in, and you'll see us again tomorrow for The Pursuit of Excellence.
Have a wonderful conference, everyone.